guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a huge, massive toy declutter right before the holidays. I'm really gonna try to get rid of as much as I can. We just celebrated 2 birthdays in the fall, so the kids got gifts there, and then obviously Christmas is coming up, so they're gonna be getting more gifts. So this time of year is really like the perfect time for me to purge as much as I can to just kind of refresh the space and be more mindful of like where toys need to be in the house. Toys are just one of those things you can't escape as a parent. I'm happy to see that toys are being played with, right? And that they're out, like that's a good thing. But it's more a matter of maintaining organization and creating boundaries and systems in place. So that's kind of what I want to share with you in this video, how we are managing all of that with 3 kids 5 and under. Before the holidays is a great time for all of you to join me in this declutter. So feel free to declutter right alongside me. And we're gonna jump back in time for a minute because I did start this declutter a couple of weeks ago.
So today I'm trying something I've actually never done before, and that is gathering every single toy from every single room and space in my house and putting them into a huge pile in the basement where we keep a majority of the other toys. This is helpful to visually see how much you really have all together, since we keep toys in the kids' room and then the living room as well. I'm also taking all the bins out from our storage shelf that we rotate toys on. So now everything's in a huge pile and I'm super overwhelmed realizing I have a lot more toys than I thought I did. And here's a closer look at all of the bins and piles. So I just threw myself in there, started picking up things and organizing it into one of 3 piles: trash, donations, and sell. A lot of this was just that tedious work of picking toys out of the wrong bins and reorganizing them with like toys. Okay, so at this point, I'm still in the chaos before it gets better phase, and I did make a big pile of Montessori toys separately because I have so many of them. This is like KiwiCo, Love Every. A lot of these were gifted to us, which I'm so thankful for. A lot of these have small pieces that are very similar to each other and they're not organized. So for these, I need to go through all of them and just make sure that everything is together with toys they belong with. Once it was all perfectly organized in piles, I realized that I have multiple of a lot of the same toys. They're not exactly the same, but maybe they are doing the same function and teaching the kid the same thing. For example, 3 of these like car or ball ramps. So I went through and decided which ones I wanted to keep for each one, put the rest in the giveaway pile.
Okay, I've gotten to the point where this is a totally blank slate and it's pretty messy behind me. I swear it's organized chaos. I know what's going on in my head and I'm slowly making progress.
At this point, I was trying to decide how I want to lay out this area, and then something very unfortunate happened that really screwed up my plans for the day and put a halt to everything.
Ooh, that does not look good. Okay, something very unexpected just happened. I pulled apart the 2 toy caddies that we have, only to find mold on the sides that has built up. I don't know how long it's been there for, but I know that we had a little bit of flooding in our basement earlier in the summer, and I think it got damp and water got trapped, and we had no idea this was going on. It hasn't spread on the entire thing, so at least it was like hidden and away from the kids to actually be able to touch it. But I'm so disappointed. I loved these caddies. They're perfect for what I prefer with toy storage. I don't want to show you guys the mold. It's kind of nasty. I don't know if it's something that I could just clean off myself and keep them, but that's also risky. So this just really sucks.
In the end, here's what I trashed, here's what was going to donate or sell. My church needed some new toys for their kids' rooms, so hopefully some of these items would be helpful for them. I also ended up putting some items into a revisit bin, which I later ended up adding even more things to, and so now I have to transfer all of it to an even larger bin. Essentially, these are toys that Jace isn't currently as interested in, but I can see Theo really loving them in a few years, so there's no sense in getting rid of them and having to repurchase similar items later. I'd rather just save them and pull them out at a time that makes more sense. Same goes for some of Aria's things. For example, I have bought her some Barbies, but she doesn't seem to be interested just yet. I think this is something she'll be more into as she gets a bit older. So my revisit bin is going to go away into the storage room for now, and I'll periodically check in and see if anything from it can get pulled back out or if anything from it needs to get donated. Okay, friends, we're gonna take a little break because I wanna share more about today's video sponsor, Territory Foods. So they are a healthy meal delivery service that takes a holistic and personalized approach to health and wellness. So on days like today, where I'm just editing or I'm running around like crazy trying to get home projects done, home organizing done, the last thing I really wanna think about is whipping together a meal to eat something for a lunch. But I should probably eat something for lunch because it's healthy and it's good for me and I need more energy to do more things. With Territory's personalization, they are very inclusive of different dietary restrictions and needs. And so you're able to choose from a variety of preferences, including paleo, low carb, plant-based, keto-friendly, Whole30, and performance nutrition. And all meals are gluten-free, dairy-free, and refined sugar-free. I've been on my own health and fitness journey. I shared more about it a few videos ago. I mainly just want to feel better on a daily basis. So I've been doing intermittent fasting. I talked a lot about that. And part of that is kind of me moving towards a more keto-friendly diet. So I was able to actually request that. So today I'm trying the blackened salmon with Spanish rice. It smells so good the second I started to heat it up, but it's actually delicious and it's portioned well so that I don't need to be tempted to overeat, and I also don't need to clean anything when I'm done. Just a little bit spicy, just a little kick in there. I like some spice. What's really unique about Territory's networks is that they are working with local chefs, and so they can also bring their unique culinary skills to each meal. In terms of delivery, they can deliver twice a week, arrives right at your doorstep, super convenient, and so that ensures that your food is very fresh, and they're constantly introducing new menu items, thinking through what's in season, which is very important for just things tasting good. Right now, Territory is offering you all $25 off your first order of 6 or more meals. Just head to the link in my description box or use my code Nicole Lela 25 at checkout. Okay, we're back to today, which is a few weeks later, and I'm happy to report that I was able to clean off the mold. I let it dry out, waited a few days to see if anything came back. Nothing came back. We're in the clear. So I was able to salvage my furniture because I was really sad to think that I would have had to potentially get rid of those cubbies. I love those cubbies, but I've been thinking about this whole toy declutter and just the fact that we hear it all the time. Like, I'm sure by now as parents, we've all heard less toys is better for our kids. They are less overstimulated when there are less options to choose from, so therefore they play better. But I feel like it's hard sometimes to actually put this into practice in our homes and get rid of things, letting go of some of these items that we received as gifts and we feel like we need to keep them around as long as possible. I don't know, maybe it's harder for us than it is for our kids, honestly. From that purge I just showed you guys, what I have seen in the past few weeks is my kids truly playing better together, playing longer together, which is like my goal, because I'm just at that point where it's like I'm not sitting and constantly entertaining and playing with my kids. Like, I am trying to train them up to play with one another, to be creative and use their imaginations, and also be able to play on their own. This is helping to facilitate that with less toys in place. So obviously the biggest change down here is just that we went down to only one of these cubby units, which honestly made a huge difference, because the more units you have out, the more you feel like you need to fill it up, the more toys you have out, and then the more overwhelming, overstimulated, and the more mess at the end of the day. So even just going down to one, I feel the difference with how the kids are playing. I feel the difference with how quickly we are cleaning up now at the end of the day. What I have set up in the room today, obviously there's a couple more things on the rotation shelf in the laundry room, but it's not nearly as much as I used to have. So we got rid of a lot of stuff. I usually keep a bin here of larger superheroes, larger trucks and toys, plastic, and then another bin of any type of building stuff, whether it's blocks or magnet tiles or their train set.
I prefer to put it in here than like an actual bin that they'll pull out and throw all over the floor because it makes cleanup easier. Whatever they actually use, they take out, which is why I love this little system. And then these are like the small item bins that if you have them too full, it will quickly drive you up a wall because they get in every corner of everywhere under things. So I scaled down like just a few small figures there, a couple small animals. We used to have like 1,000,000 dinosaurs, which was not getting played with. Couple small cars, little toy for Theo up here, doll. This is our dress up corner, medical kit, kitchen food and utensils and stuff are in there, a little kitchen set. And then actually in here, we always keep, that needs to get cleaned, our magnet tiles because they get played with so often. We always have these out, building and problem solving and really using their brains. So these are all the cars we currently own for the kids. It used to be just 3 cars and then the stroller, but we inherited 2 more. Richie brought them home from his mom's house. And honestly, I think they've been really helpful because large mortar items like this, they get used a lot. Also, little cardboard box there, colored and have been using for weeks, and it's currently a garage. Okay, this is the other side of my basement, and turns out while I was decluttering, my sister was also decluttering. She decided that her kiddos don't need this thing anymore and asked me if I would like to take it. Even though I'm supposed to be getting rid of stuff, it's not just about getting rid of everything you can, it's more about being mindful of what you should keep and what you should get rid of. So I know that like big things like this, kind of similar to the cars and how I took some of those cars in, especially now that we are going into the winter season, we're gonna be inside a lot. Won't be able to get outside on the playground and play and use our bodies as much. So like big things like this are gonna be very helpful. So I thought this would be something I will say yes to. But yes, this is the nugget. You can create so many different formations with it. I can see the kids playing with this a ton. When their cousins and friends come over, they play in the basement for hours. And to be honest, it's mostly creating forts and playing with the cars. Like that is a lot of what they're doing. So I still do have our, what's it called, pickler triangle. Okay, let's talk about the upstairs area real quick. I don't have like a strict no toys upstairs rule. I feel like I know some people personally with basements that are like, no toys upstairs at all. Literally the whole point of the basement is to have all the toys you would need, and so you don't need to bring anything upstairs, which I understand that. Like when toys are all over the basement floor, I don't really care. Whereas if it's upstairs, it pretty much needs to get cleaned multiple times a day because we start stepping all over it. The worst is when it's in the kitchen and I'm like trying to cook and clean and I'm stepping on the toys. Like that drives me nuts. So because of that, I do need to form some sort of like regulations and rules, but my kids are still so young that it's like, yes, toys are going to trail upstairs at some point. Like it's gonna happen. And I don't want to, I guess, bring more tension into the household by like having this rule that just can't be maintained by my children with their ages right now. So yes, I do more of like a limited toys upstairs kind of rule. The main question I asked was, do my kids spend time playing with toys in their room? And the answer was no. Typically in their rooms, they're spending time more so reading. The older kids' rooms, I used to have like a cubby system. I actually just sold that piece, took out a dresser that was in the closet, put it in that area. And then in the closet, I actually moved one of those cubby organizers from the basement. Honestly, that was primarily because I needed a better place to store their stuffed animals, okay, which is very hard to get rid of. So many stuffed animals have like a sentimental meaning to it. It's kind of perfect it's in the closet behind closed doors because Theo will like run around and destroy everything. Like he's just in a crazy stage right now. I have like one true toy in there, which is their Lincoln Logs, a great toy. And sometimes Jace will take it out and we'll just play in the living room with it. Sometimes in his room on the floor. I have another basket where we're keeping their series books. Like Jace has some superhero ones, Aria has some princess books, and they both come with like an audio reader. So I keep that all in there to kind of keep them all in one spot. And then I do also store some of their books in there that are a little bit more special. We want to keep them safe. We don't want them to tear apart. So like their Bible, Jace has a little study Bible, our Star from Afar book that we read for Christmas, things like this that again kind of need to be protected from Theo. So being in the closet, they just don't really get messed with. So ever since I've switched that out in their room, it's so much easier to clean their bedroom each night before they go to bed. And then for Theo's room, like truly we we probably don't even need any toys in there because we don't spend time playing in there. It's so like once in a blue moon, but I just am keeping like 3 or 4 Montessori toys in his little cabinet there. The other part of the upstairs is this room that I'm in. So I'll give you a little tour on what's behind me, which is the wardrobe. And that's honestly mostly homeschool stuff. And then that area, which is some baskets, which has helped me keep things pretty clean up here. Okay, down here we keep a lot of books. I actually have room for more, but they were getting so disheveled, like falling down and all these things. I couldn't keep them upright. So I ended up buying these acrylic bookends and using a command strip to attach them to the bottom so that I have like 4 sections to actually keep the books upright. This wardrobe has honestly been such a game changer for us. I was needing something just big to store away all their crafting things, their homeschool stuff, but something that I can close and tuck away because I know it's not gonna be perfect. I know it's gonna get messed up, and that's fine, a little bit disheveled, and I don't have time to clean it all the time, so we usually just shut the doors and it's all good. But I'm gonna do some organizing because things have gotten a little bit out of control here. Okay, let's take you to the other side. Down here I've got 3 bins, and I used to do like, oh, one for Theo's toys, one for the kids' toys, and then the last one would be extra for any random toys that end up upstairs. But it all just got mixed up anyway, and that didn't even matter. So basically what these bins have become is a lot more simple. It's literally just whatever toys end up upstairs that has trailed up from the basement, or even that may have trailed from their room or whatever. We'll just throw them in here at the end of the day because I'm not going to necessarily go put them where they actually belong right away. They go into any of these bins, and then maybe like once every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when it starts to really like add up and get on my nerves, I'll just take the baskets and go around the house, whether it's downstairs or in their bedroom, and actually put things, and I have them help me so that they can learn, hey, let's organize your toys, where do these go? And then they'll end up empty again, and then we'll just restart the process. So this is kind of our simple, let's put in the baskets and be done with it area. Okay, I know this video was supposed to be all about toys, but I've kind of gotten into just like organizing all the kids' things, including like their arts and crafts and supplies, whatever. Just a little tip in case people are getting overwhelmed with all the drawings their kids make, which, like I said, I love Jace's drawings. Like, I can't even throw them away right now because I'm just so proud of how much he loves art. And so I have one drawer down here, which I toss in all their drawings and all the random projects that we make. And it's an absolute mess in here, but that's fine. It's just like the quick toss it in. And then, I don't know, twice a year maybe, go through this, decide what I actually want to keep and put in their memory boxes that I started, and then the rest recycle and get rid of. It's also nice because sometimes they'll like create a project that they want to go back to and grab, and they'll be like, Mom, where was that dragon I made? And I'll be like, oh shoot, I threw it out. But this way I'm not throwing it out, I'm just throwing it in here, but it's out of the way, whatever. And if they remember it, they can grab it. If they don't remember it, then great. I'm not gonna feel bad when I toss it, you know, in that once a year dumping or whatever. I guess I'm just one of those moms that like has a hard time getting rid of this stuff right away. See, look, more artwork that I haven't stored away yet. I mean, how cool. I'm like obsessed with the things he draws. I just think it's so cool. I want to frame everything, you know, but I can't, so there's in here. This toy declutter has been extremely successful. I'm so happy we did it. I'm sure I'll do another one again in a couple of months. This is one of those things where it's like you don't just do it once and it's done. Like, there's always going to be an influx of toys coming in and out. Anyways, I hope this was motivating. Hope it was helpful for anyone else who needs to be doing a toy declutter right now. You know who you are. You will thank yourself when those new toys come in. And trust me, it's really nice to go into the new year just feeling like a weight off your shoulders and you've done some purging. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to share this video with your other mom friends. This should be up like sometime before the new year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I probably won't post anything else for the rest of this year because I need a couple weeks off to just focus on the family, but I really hope everybody has a good, safe holiday. Appreciate all your support on this channel, and I will see you next year.